Hello my fellow gamers, my name is Jason and welcome to Gamer Central. Season 5 for Black Ops 7 just came out, and no, I'm not going to be talking about the new, very confusing matchmaking updates they did. And no, I'm not going to be talking about the new maps or the new guns either. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Modern Warfare 4 pre-order camo event. For those of you who don't know, this event offers two camos, Moonlit Pearl and Gilded Ruin. You have to pre-order Modern Warfare 4 to access the event, and when you do, you get the Moonlit Pearl camo right away and unlock the challenge to earn Gilded Ruin. It's actually a really cool camo that has a unique serial number displayed on the gun for the first 100,000 players to complete the challenge within 90 days. I managed to get my camo yesterday, and I was nearly in the first quarter of people to get it done. 27,279 out of 100,000. It's genuinely really cool to have, and I'm happy that I got it, but I have a pretty big complaint. The way that they implemented this event really sucks. And I just want to say to start, the idea of this camo and the event itself is genuinely really cool, and I'm surprised we've never seen COD try to add exclusive, individualized camos or items like this in the past. And honestly, this is the type of FOMO event that I can really get behind. As long as people can still get the non-serialized version of the camo if they're late, which seems to be the case for this, I'm perfectly fine with it. But that being said, the serialized version of Gilded Ruin is clearly intended to be a highly rare and exclusive item, and assuming you stick to only one mode, having the challenge only require 1,000 eliminations in endgame, 5,000 kills in zombies, 500 eliminations in multiplayer, or little over 170 Warzone eliminations, it's kind of offensively too easy. Like, come on, the challenge for multiplayer isn't even to get actual full kills, just eliminations, which includes assists. Even some of the seasonal weekly challenges make the distinction between kills and eliminations. And for the average player, a challenge like this is really just a moderately long play session. And right now, as of recording this, we're a little over 24 hours into the event, and the challenge is currently somewhere around 60 or 70,000 out of 100,000. So in a weird way, it's not progressing quickly enough to be a particularly impressive showing for Treyarch, and by extension Modern Warfare 4, but at the same time, it's progressing too quickly to be fair for players. And I personally see a lot of issues with this. Firstly, from a business perspective, it looks pretty bad when Black Ops 7 is already being accused of having low player counts. Having the event go live on a workday already removes a sizable chunk of people who could play the game during the day. And at the same time, players on Xbox, including myself, had tons of problems getting into the game at all due to various issues updating the game. With all that going on, 60 to 70,000 in 24 hours doesn't really seem as impressive anymore. And especially for a challenge that's so easy, you would think the number would be much closer to 100,000 by now, or possibly already well past it. Quite honestly, it looks pretty pathetic and reinforces the COD is dead crowd a bit, since they essentially added something that people will treat like a live player and pre-order tracker during the worst possible conditions. Also, since you need to pre-order MW4 to progress the event in the first place, people can indirectly and unfairly draw the conclusion that pre-order numbers are low, which doesn't look super great either. And at the same time, it's progressing far too quickly for the average person who couldn't hop on the game immediately, potentially causing them to miss out on the special version of the camo through no fault of their own. They 100% should have waited until the weekend to launch the event, instead of right at the launch of Season 5. That way, more people could begin progressing at roughly the same time and have a fairer start to the camo race. You can't have an event like this, with actual exclusive, limited quantity rewards, and drop it in the middle of a workday. Not when people have work and other obligations during the week. So now for the event challenge itself. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the challenge is way too easy to complete. I'm personally a multiplayer guy, so that's what I'm going to focus on here. For an event that's going on for 90 days, the fact that the 100,000 serialized camos will be earned in less than 24 hours is a little insane to me. Instead of a singular challenge that progresses through passive effort, there should have been a collection of mode-specific challenges that actually require the players to actively be trying to do something. The challenges could be to play a certain mode, use certain weapon classes, do something moderately difficult, anything. Even the recent in-game event to unlock the Cherry Fizz camo, as tedious as it was, asked more of the player base than this. And the Gilded Ruin camo is being framed as the prestigious, exclusive one, and that doesn't make any sense. And with these challenges, I'm not suggesting they be extremely difficult, tedious, or take the full 90 days of the event. I just think that the exclusivity and scarcity of the rewards should be properly reflected in what it takes to earn them. And for player engagement and interest, I think it would be better if the challenge took a bit longer. Currently, once you earn the camo just after a couple hours, you're just done. You have nothing else to chase anymore. But instead, if the challenge took an individual player a couple days, or maybe even a week to complete with real substantial challenges, it would immediately make the race to earn the camo more exciting and engaging, especially if the player feels like an active participant in the process. It becomes a much more skill-based achievement because progression speed and efficiency becomes much more important than whether or not you're able to hop on the game early enough, and a longer duration adds more stakes and pressure once you start seeing other people reach that finish line. Generally speaking, COD has struggled a lot recently with giving players proper incentives to keep coming back to the game, and pacing is definitely one of their bigger issues. There's nothing wrong with having a carrot on a stick type of incentive that takes a little longer to earn and not overloading the game with new, constant short-term progression goals. That just gets boring and exhausting. But speaking of progression, I've actually been planning a video talking about just that, which I've admittedly been working on a little slower than I would like, but I'm hoping to get that out in the near future. But anyway, what do you guys think of the camo event? If you got the camo, let me know what number you got, and if you think getting it was a little bit too easy. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.